A man named Darwin once boiled the workings of nature down to a single perfect phrase: survival of the fittest. It means the species that can't compete becomes extinct. Well, Darwin's theory also applies to cars, and today the species least likely to survive is our road test by request subject, the high-end Japanese sports car. Like the dinosaurs, these powerful, expensive brutes, most of which have already vanished since we first aired this test, are ill-equipped to survive in today's slimmed-down marketplace. So we thought we'd offer this nostalgic drive one more time. And drive them we did, from our home base in Maryland to the challenging turns of Georgia's Roebling Road Raceway. And while the 4 turbos that we picked are not the only premium Japanese sports cars, they are clearly the most endangered. The first intercooled animal on our list is also the most substantial, measuring over 179 inches long and weighing 3,781 pounds. The Mitsubishi 3000 GT VR4 is big, but compensates with a massive blend of power and technology. Under its eye-catching skin sits a 3-liter 24-valve dual overhead cam V6 engine with 2 turbochargers. Output is 320 horses and 315 pound-feet of torque. And it all feeds through a drive line that includes a limited slip differential and full-time all-wheel drive. But despite all this heavy lifting, the VR4 still blasted to 60 in 5.7 seconds and romped through the quarter mile in 14.3 seconds at 100 miles per hour. On a racetrack that turns, the VR4's weight shows in pronounced front-end push despite 4-wheel steering. But the all-wheel drive system counters with tremendous balance and grip. And when the curves straighten, the engine pulls hard to the next corner, where the large anti-lock equipped disc hauled it down quickly, but also faded under heavy use. The VR4's 2+2 accommodations are pure grand tour, with lots of luxury touches from pictorial climate controls to infinity stereo. While the Dodge Stealth version goes away after '96, Mitsubishi says the 3000 GT is here to stay, even though the VR4's base price of $45,580 isn't cheap, but you clearly do get a lot of car for your money. A lot also describes our next brute, the Toyota Supra Turbo. Coming close behind the Mitsubishi in overall length, the Supra was also the most surprising, but not for engine output. It's identical to the VR4 at 320 horses and 315 pound-feet of torque. But here, the 3-liter 24-valve twin-turbo is an inline 6. The surprise is it's not faster than the VR4 out of the chute. Despite nearly 600 fewer pounds, it was edged out in the sprint to 60, posting a 5.8-second time. The quarter mile, however, was quicker, 14.1 seconds at 105 miles per hour, as the engine's surprisingly ferocious top-end rush quickly gained the rear-drive Supra the nickname Rocket Sled. But its nimble small car agility was the biggest surprise, especially for a machine with over 100 inches of wheelbase, while the massive ABS-equipped disc displayed impressive pedal feel and longevity. Once again, accommodations are 2+2, but here with fewer creature features and a more serious sports car environment, and a higher price, starting at $49,000. Slightly lower on the money scale comes the car that most folks know simply as the Z, Nissan 300ZX Turbo. '96 is the final year for the Z car in America. At 3,518 pounds, it is heavier than the Supra and 10 inches longer than the VR4. And while it carries the requisite 3-liter twin-turbo V6, it packs only 300 horsepower and 283 pound-feet of torque. A disadvantage we found to be only on paper, as the Z blasted to 60 in 5.4 seconds and through the quarter mile in 13.8 seconds at 105 miles per hour, the quickest of our set yet. Out on Roebling's curves, the Z was certainly nimble, thanks to super high-cast 4-wheel steering, and its willingness to drift the tail makes it the most entertaining of the lot. Near its limits, some of our drivers did complain of a vague response from the rear multi-link suspension, but that's a place that no sane street pilot should go. Like the Mitsubishi, the brakes had a short track life, but while on, they were some of the best on the circuit. Like the others, the Z has a luxurious cockpit, but its dimensions require more compact occupants, while its price requires fewer dollars, starting at $43,979. Our final plaything was the shortest, lightest, and most serious machine of the group, the Mazda RX-7. Built on the principle of less is more speed that is, the RX-7 dispenses with most luxury doodads in favor of a more classic sports car approach. Until you look under the hood, that is, at the 1.3-liter twin-turbo, twin-rotary engine, pumping out 255 horsepower and 213 pound-feet of torque. But just because it packs fewer horses doesn't mean it's slow. With under 3,000 pounds to move, the RX rocketed to 60 in 5.4 seconds and down the full quarter mile in 13.9 seconds at 104 miles per hour. It was also the most neutral handling of our quartet, requiring an experienced hand to exploit its massive grip, stunning brakes, and razor-sharp steering. To some, the RX-7 was the only pure sports car of the group, its design uncluttered by bells, whistles, or a rear seat. In fact, its tight Spartan interior is much more GTP car than Millennia sedan. This street racer will set an enthusiast back $37,800, and to us, it's the bargain of the bunch. But if you lust for real automotive thrills, you can justify the price of any of our quartet of high-end Japanese turbo sports cars, a breed that is unfortunately being stamped out by insurance companies, exchange rates, and an aging population. Now we hope our predictions of doom are wrong, but until we're sure, we think it's a great excuse to keep on trying to tame these marvelous machines. What is a muscle car? A 64 Pontiac GTO, a 69 Ford Torino Talladega, or a 92 Dodge Viper RT10? Well, editor Ron Kowalski profiles those three and dozens more in the Standard Guide to American Muscle Cars. It covers the years 1960 to 1995, well documenting the glory days of the first generation of supercars, victims of high insurance rates and environmental concerns. But the 90s high-tech performance revival isn't neglected either. Whether you covet a Callaway Corvette, a GMC Cyclone, or Studebaker R2 Avanti, it's in here. I hope you'll join us next week for more Motor Week. We'll test Buick's all-new Century sedan. I'm John Davis. We'll see you then.
To order a video cassette of this program, call 1-800-422-0064 or send $19.95 plus $4.95 shipping and handling to Motorweek, Post Office Box 55742, Indianapolis, Indiana 46205.